Good evening, everybody. Well, depending from where you're watching, maybe it's good morning. Welcome to the second episode of the third season of Franky and Coen's Ukrainian side. We have a full program again. We have some very interesting guests on the table. We have here operator Starsky. He was here last time. Was a huge success, so we asked him back. We have on the other side Zbigniew Gaziela. He's from Poland. Poland's #1 volunteer in Ukraine. Of course, we have here Koen van Oosten.
And Franky van Hintem.
And then we have, of course, the live streams. Later in the show, we have Aljona Gramova and we have Denis Christoph. And at this moment, if everything is good, we already have Rick, the Ukrainian. Rick, are you here?
Yes, you have me here. Hi, guys. Happy to see you all.
Rick, happy to see you as well. How are you doing?
Pretty good, though. Good. It could be better if we hadn't this war, you know?
Yeah, that's for sure. That, yeah, that's the main thing, of course. Last show was actually, it was very, very nice. We had the interactive going very well. We have the statement of the week. This week it's the same. We have interactive possibilities for people. They can respond on everything what we say here. They can ask questions. Any news already on your site?
Like, I don't see questions yet, but people are happy to see everyone and they're joining in. And we have a statement of the week. Should we talk about it now? Or,
yeah, that's good. We have a statement about European countries and weapons. Can you explain exactly what is the statement and what are the options for people to choose from?
Yeah, so there's a question. Western countries should give more than half of their weapons to Ukraine, which is huge. And there are 4 options. Yes, full support for Ukraine. Second option is yes, for our safety. Third one is no, we need them ourselves. And the fourth one is no, it's not our war. And we have many votes already. 88 people voted. So I can tell you what is the current state of that one.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things to say about each option, actually, because, well, some people here say it's not our war. Well, I'm not going to say my opinion about that, but there's something to say. Of course, there's people who say we need our own weapons because we might be in a situation, but then...
That's possible, but the war is there now.
If we stop them there, they won't get to here.
Yes.
Yeah. So all options is something to say for, so we are very interested later in the show what will be the responses of everybody. So if it's okay with you, Rick, we will get back to you a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
And
he has to be hanging for...
Yeah, so at this moment we have also on the table operator Starsky. As I told, it was a huge success last time you were here. Yeah, really a lot of interesting information. People liked it. They asked all kind of questions. Yeah, they want to know a lot more from you, so that's why we asked you again. But before we will go into these things, I actually want to show you a picture of the 2 dots. Right now you see 2 dots. When you look at them, at the first moment you might say maybe that they are equal in size, but one of them is bigger than the other one. It's not easy to see, but I'm wondering, you guys, which one do you think is bigger? Starsky, start with you.
It's definitely the red one.
You're sure about it?
100% the red one. Yeah.
100% is a lot. Zbigniew?
Red one for sure.
Yeah?
Red dot for
Red
sure
dot
is
is bigger.
bigger.
Koen?
I not agree. From this side, it's the blue one is the bigger one.
The blue one is the bigger one.
Yeah.
So we have red, red, blue. Interesting what our friend Rick is thinking. Rick, okay. Well, he's coming back right now, I think. Rick. So we were asking you, Rick, which dot do you think is bigger, the red one or the blue one? If you look at them.
I stepped back for a bit.
Yeah, we saw that. Well, at the first impression, they might look the same size, but one is definitely bigger than the other one. So I'm asking you, which one do you think is bigger, the red one or the blue one?
For me, it seemed that the blue one is yet bigger than the red one.
Yeah?
That's my vote, yeah.
I also would like to hear from people who are watching the show what they think. Are people responding on it? What they think is the bigger one? Because it's difficult to see. But
some are saying red, some are saying blue. I say blue, I say red. But for now, that's like 50-50.
okay.
Nothing more than that.
Well, I think I might explain then which one is bigger. You guys are right. The red one is bigger. Speed check. Koen, you're wrong. Blue one is
Why wrong?
smaller than the red one. No, we're going to prove it in a minute, but...
For my eyes, it's still the blue one, sorry.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it is the red one. And if it's the red one, it's the red one. But we will show it in a minute to you that the red one is bigger.
Okay.
People in watching the show, they're still not convinced, or some changing their minds?
There's a third option which people are choosing, not just red or blue one.
Well, I'm telling you, one is bigger than the other one.
Yeah, guys, so you should pick one, just red or blue. And also the gray one option is there.
The grey one. No, the red one is the bigger one. So it's a pity you don't see it. But
Can you show it again? Yeah.
You don't see it?
No.
Yeah, that's definitely blue.
Definitely blue, yeah?
You won't convince me, yeah.
Okay,
The
well,
blue one is bigger.
Okay, I will explain. This is the experiment, actually. Both of them are the same size. But imagine that somebody is telling you from small child until now that one of them is bigger. Maybe somebody told you all your life the red one is bigger. Then you might believe that the red one is bigger. If you have learned all your life that the blue one is bigger, then the blue one is bigger. And this is actually how propaganda works, right?
I would say misinformation, because both are the same size. But
both are the same size.
But people were told the fake, that some of them is bigger than the other one. And this is how it works. The main idea is to, plant this seed of disbelief, this doubt into people's mind, and make people question the facts, question things like legitimacy, right? If we're talking, for example, about the Russian invasion of Ukraine, they make people question the legitimacy of existence of Ukraine as a sovereign state. Legitimacy of existence of Ukrainian nation there. Maybe everything belongs to Russia. Question things like NATO expansion, because this document about the NATO expansion, where NATO countries agreed not to expand an inch eastwards, doesn't exist. Like, nobody saw it. Okay, but Russians are speaking about it as if it was a fact. And this is the strategy that is used, and it was taught in the KGB schools back in the days in the Soviet Union. When you're telling lies, you gotta tell them in the way that, you gotta be 100% confident. You gotta deny facts. Even if, and it was like, like a joke, if they caught you in the bed with your best friend's wife, you gotta deny that it's your best friend's wife, you gotta deny that you are yourself, and everybody's just dreaming. This is what they do. When you check, for example, Peskov's interview after Russians shot down MH17 over Donbass, you can see the way he talks. He denies facts, and he does it so confidently, so people start questioning, did it really happen?
Have I seen it right before?
Yes.
They question themselves, because so often it's said it's not true, that in your mind you're going to change your opinion. Well, that's a very difficult one, because we all learn things.
Yeah.
And well, children might not question their father and mother because they are above them. And that's actually what I think is also happening with governments. People rely on the governments, more or less, and they just believe it, even if it's completely nonsense.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this situation, unfortunately, we have to choose which side are we allied with. Are we allied with collective West, our allies, our friends and partners, or we are allied with Russia, terrorist state, closest ally of such states as Iran, North Korea, Syria. We have to choose the side because you cannot just try to sit.
Cannot be in the middle.
Yes,
You have to make a choice. There's two options.
But okay, but how can people, you see this image, you see that image, what is the right one? What is the truth and what is not the truth?
So, sometimes it's even difficult, even if you see the truth, because even if you see the truth, but there's a different story under the truthful picture, for example, then it's also might be different.
But the biggest question is how can we learn to see what is wrong and what is right?
I want to show you guys a picture of a soldier who's been captured and they want to kill. Maybe we can show the picture.
I can explain a bit more about this picture. So this is a photo from the American campaign in the Iraq. Actually, it was a viral photo. Probably some of the people saw it back in the days. And on this picture, you can clearly see atrocities of the American army in the Iraq.
Yeah, they might shoot him. That's how.
Yeah. So basically, that's the atrocities. But it's just part of the picture.
You want to see the whole picture?
Absolutely. And this is the whole picture. And here you can see that, no, guys, it's not the atrocities. Actually, this Iraqi soldier was captured and he was given water because he was thirsty and exhausted. And we can tell the truth if we know the whole picture. People will say, okay, if we have one part of the picture and the other part of the picture, we can combine it, and the truth will be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
but the truth is not in the middle because the first picture, the cropped one, was obviously fake. It was a misinformation. Nobody shot the soldier. He's alive and he was given water. And this is exactly how Russian propaganda works.
Yeah, okay, but when I look TikTok, I see that image. How can I say at that moment it is the right one?
What should people do to be sure if something what they see in the news or what they see on the internet, what can we do to make sure that we get the right picture with the picture?
There are several ways again. First of all, we gotta shift from being informational consumers to fact checkers. But again, we want this ourselves. If we don't want to check information, we will never do that. And that's basically what majority of us do. When we go to internet, when we surf websites, we usually don't check facts because we are consumers of the information. It's a natural thing, and majority of people don't do that. So simple rule, if information is confirmed at least by 3 different sources of information, it might be legit. Like this is how the big news are made as well. If the news are coming from the Russian sources, you have to consider the fact that Russia is generally the country that developed propaganda and they have no freedom of speech. One of the things that Russian misinformation does, and basically Russian hybrid warfare is aimed at, is to sow the seeds of, cynicism and disbelief in people. And when people look at, for example, Russian propaganda, they will be saying, but West does the same. Like Western media, they also lie.
Does the West do the same?
Yeah, but at the same time, show me how, for example, BBC forges the news.
So I'm asking you, is it also possible, well, does it happen a lot that Western countries also show propaganda which is completely untrue?
There is big difference between propaganda and public relations, because what the Western media agency do, they do public relations. Russia does propaganda. Propaganda consists 99% of misinformation and fakes, basically lies. So there is a way when you are told the truth, like in the Western media, and the truth is told like in a specific way, People who want to convince you to support Russia, they will start talking about facts, but they will start
Mix it up.
Yeah, you will start questioning, the legitimacy of Ukrainian state and things like that. But Russia literally produces fakes after fakes. Recently, they produced a fake. So they said that Politico, and Politico is a world-wide known agency, created a publication about Ukrainian allies, Western allies, questioning the legitimacy of Zelensky being a president of Ukraine. Because we had to have elections according to Ukrainian constitution during the wartime. We cannot have elections because it's really hard to...
It's wartime.
Yeah, absolutely. And they created this fake and they published it around all Russian media. But this publication never existed. You can literally visit the website of Politico. It's not there because it never existed. And this is how Russia basically produces fakes. They produce lies. And that's the biggest difference. Western media, they have their informational strategy, but strategy is based on facts. Russia produces lies, and this is the basis of their...
But the people they're watching now, the most, what I see, is from on YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram, there I see it. It's all short. Why is not something that you say, this is a button, I say this is fake news? Why it is not there?
That would be a good one. Make a button on all of those social medias that if you see something and you think it's fake, you push the fake button and they have to check it. Would be something.
Yes, but on the other hand, Russians involve bot farms. They can literally bring 1,000 viewers who will press the button and your content.
Your real news also is gone.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
That's good. Yeah.
So the best way, for example, there is those community notes on Twitter, right? When individuals like Jackson Hinkle, for example, post their fakes, obvious fakes, and then people in the comments, they can use the community notes and they can say, dude, no, that's not true because this and
yeah,
this
but
and
the
this.
use, they just swipe. They don't check things, and
It's natural.
there has to be something else to take it away.
It's natural. It's natural for us to just swipe and not think about what we're looking at.
But in your backside of your head, you take it with you.
Yeah.
That's what you see.
Yeah.
And I have a friend, and he says something in the past to me, and it's about he gets so much fake news, and if you watch 5, 6 movies from that, they give you more and more from that style.
Yeah.
It's a difficult matter, but actually the conclusion is when you see something and you are not completely sure, you should check the sources. You should see if there's more information about the same subject from well-known, solid organizations. That's what you can do.
I would add to this that there are organizations that help you to find proper information and debunk fakes. For example, EU vs disinfo.eu. It's an agency created by the European Union that debunks fakes. There's stopfake.org. Ukrainian website, there's Inform Napalm also, it works in Ukraine. I think they have website in English language as well. And
Yeah, but they have to find it, they have to know it.
Of course.
I don't see any, when I swipe, something like that.
And
on TikTok or YouTube, I never see that.
This is the reason why misinformation is so hard to fight and is so effective in the hands of the Russian terrorists.
I think we will have a lot to cope still with this problem. Another video we would like to show you. I think it's, some news video. Nee, we hebben toch een video? Oké, laten we naar Aljona. Let's go to Aljona. Hello, Aljona. How are you today?
Hello, Hello, everything okay? Thank you.
Good to hear. We're together here on the table again, and yeah, we're talking about the misinformation the Russian gives. You as a reporter, you probably know a lot about this. You see this often coming by. What do you think about this matter? What should we do to make sure that the news is real?
If people want to check, they check. And if they want to believe in this, they believe in this. I know many people who even don't try to a little think about this, you know. That's why, for me, I don't know. I'm always checking. I'm always trying to find another source, another information, to see something, because I'm a journalist. We have to do
say
this.
something
Yeah?
also,
But
if you have an idea or a question.
do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. There was a lot of news about Kramatorsk. Firstly, it's today exactly 2 years ago, I believe, that the train station have been bombed, well, with the rocket, and a lot of people died. It's exactly 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago. I right now remember because I was there, and one day before we make a video about this big evacuation. And of course, every day on this rail station, it was many people, 1,000-2,000 people, because it's driving 2 or 3, I don't remember right now, but maybe two trains. They bring people to another regions, to Lviv and Dnipro. And of course, it's a big tragedy. And one day before I also was there, we making a story about this. And actually, for me, it's difficult to say. But in this moment, I was with operator, and I said, "Oh my God! Actually, it's very dangerous here right now. Many people." And yes, and next day we see this. It happened. Yeah, next day. Yeah. It was very difficult to see the toys with the blood and to see the people's stuff. And yes, it's a big tragedy, actually.
Yeah, it's terrible news. Actually, there is also some other news about Kramatorsk. It's actually about the Ria restaurant where we have been. Where was the rocket explosion? Maybe we have a little look at that one first. En ook een foutje met. This is actually the situation we got when we get out of the Ria restaurant, which was with the rocket explosion. This is actually my video. It went viral. It was on a lot of programs, it was bombed. 13 people got killed. A lot of people got wounded. Over 60 people, and. Yeah, Koen.
Yeah, it was terrible. But yeah, now we hear that the person that did it is for life in prison now.
This was when it just came out, and Koen got a little bit hurt. Also, and actually, this person who was one of the reasons why the rocket explosion came, he went to the judge this week, and we also have a little video about that.
Ще до початку повномасштабного вторгнення він був завербований представниками Головного управління Генштабу Збройних сил Росії, і з початком активної фази війни він був розконсервований. Зловмисник отримав завдання перевірити, чи працює кафе «Піца» і чи є там відвідувачі. Він провів приховану відеозйомку закладу харчування, а також припаркованих поряд автомобілів. І вже ввечері рашисти нанесли ракетний удар по кафе. Тоді загинуло 13 осіб і 64 людини було поранено.
Yeah, so the guy who was the main reason why this happened, he was there in the afternoon. You know more about it than we do. He was filming there and was giving the exact location. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Actually, I have information because Kramatorsk not very big, and of course, when you're speaking with another journalist, somebody, and I know actually perfectly well that he was, first of all, he was very pro-Russian. He never hide this, and like the people who know him, they said that he always said, "I'm waiting for the Russia here," and this way. That's why, yeah, I know this information 100% from people who know this guy. Yeah, and of course, first of all, we have to understand that it's dangerous everywhere. You remember, guys, one day before we was in Avdiivka, yeah, next day we was very close to Belgorod, yeah, and in this day in Kramatorsk, we just see what happened.
On the place where you thought it would be more safe. Do we see this as good news that this person got a full life in jail? Or
of course, I think it's a good news because before I find many stories, and sometimes some militaries also telling the story that they find that the people and they know that this guy also give Russians some information about where sending the techniques or the militaries, and after this. Very difficult to find, I don't know how to say, to find, найти улики для того, чтобы, to find this, and sometimes the people just waiting for 2 or 3 months and coming back in Donbass and started to give information more and more.
Yeah. Well, the biggest problem is that.
Another question: do you mean more people doing that right now to give information to the Russians?
Yes, of course. Every day I see this information of special sources about. Yesterday I was see how find one lady in the Kharkiv. She given information for Russians. Many of the stories like this from Donbass. From Selidova right now, almost every day strikes. Today also was because the front line is close, and they find in the people like this. I think it's not because maybe they are really pro-Russian. It's all because of money. This is what I think.
Okay,
that's terrible. It makes it also more difficult for us to work in Ukraine because. Well, we will absolutely next time when we go to Ukraine and frying fries, we will work differently because last time when we were working and giving fries in the Donbass, it did not feel comfortable, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This week also you made a video for us. You went with Ukrainian soldiers at the front. They were working with some UK weapon.
We're working with artillery, very interesting guys, and actually, it's not very often when artillery works so close to front line, but they working and very good team. And actually, I wanted to say first we see the video. I wanted to say that the last time it's very difficult. Now close to front line, even for us, for the journalists, because 1 year ago there wasn't so much drones. It wasn't almost every time like we're driving in the night because it's very dangerous. So and these guys every day working and making everything for our victory. So let's see. Just I think the people like it.
We leave for the artillery positions at night. At this time, there are not many drones in the sky trying to find the location of the soldiers. This team does a lot of work at the front, and Russian troops are constantly hunting for them.
З приводу БК з їхньої сторони постійно все більше і більше. По кабах, мені здається, у них безліміт. Постійно каби, як і по лінії фронту, не жалкуючи навіть на одну-дві людини.
The goal of the Russian military in this direction is clear. Ukrainian soldiers say that the Russians want to reoccupy Liman.
Вони давно хочуть, але це, не знаю, на грані фантастики. Мені здається, зараз до Лиману не дійти, тому що зараз і будується друга лінія фортифікаційних інженерних споруд, і третя лінія.
The unit work with the British L-119 howitzer as necessary the crew tries to change positions so that they are not found. The artilleryman has many goals here.
Постріл! Постріл!
Ну, зараз дуже багато працювали, да, багато пострілів зробили, працювали зараз по чому?
Працювали по ворожій піхоті, штурмова група пересувалася до наших позицій, щоб штурманути наші позиції. Ми вчасно відреагували і зупинили ворожий наступ.
Despite the fact that the Russian army is suffering losses in both manpower and equipment, they continue to attack.
Знаю, що їх, як кажуть, тільки в один шлях, це тільки вперед, тому що загранотряди стоять ззаді і позаду і розстрілюють, якщо хтось повертається. Ця інформація є, і вона доцільна, ця інформація.
In this direction, the defenders can repel Russian attacks every day. Liman direction, Donbass, especially for Franky and Coen.
Yes, it's very impressive, but we see that there's not enough ammunition very often. Is there coming some more ammunition right now? Because we're talking about it a lot here in the Western media. Is there coming more ammunition at this moment, or is it still the same problem?
Problem with the weapon. With the ammunition, I never hear from the guys they have some problem. Yeah, maybe they have some problem, but first of all, very important for them is the weapon. And of course, people, they also have a rest.
Yes. I hope we get more weapons there and more ammunition. I know that the Netherlands is trying very hard. Some countries are. The main problem at this moment is the USA. What do you think, Starsky? Will come?
We are talking not only about artillery here, but also about things like long-range missiles and Patriot systems. Currently, Russia uses a lot of missiles, high-precision missiles, to strike Ukrainian energy infrastructure. And this time they act differently as it was, for example, in 2022 and 2023, because back then they would shoot many missiles and drones, for example, at heavily protected Kyiv, right? But this time they're targeting less protected power plants around across Ukraine. And we can see that the recent strikes between 22nd and 29th of March, they were conducted on less protected power plants in 7 different oblasts of Ukraine. So they're trying to inflict, let's say, constant damage to those plants, because some of objects are really, really badly damaged, and they will be only repaired probably next year. Not even this year. So this is what they're doing, and this is why Ukraine needs American help. We need Patriot systems. Again, we have at this moment 22 completely controlled oblasts of Ukraine. 3 occupied is Donetsk, Luhansk, and Crimea. The rest are under Ukrainian control, and this means that we need 20 more artillery, 20 more Patriot systems to close the skies over Ukraine. Currently, we have only 2.
Let's hope that this changes soon, and let's hope that America, USA, comes over with more weaponry. Alyona, we want to thank you very, very much, and speak to you soon. Have a good evening. Thank you very much.
Be safe.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Rick, are you here, Rick?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, you've heard a lot in the meantime. Are people responding?
And chatted a lot.
Yeah, they chatted a lot. Do you have any questions or anything you want to...
For now, no questions for you guys. There was a weird question for Starsky, but I didn't get the question, so I won't be asking it, obviously. But I want to ask people to first like the stream. It helps with engagement. Secondly, vote there in the poll up top. We have 167 votes. You maybe guys want to hear the result right now?
Yeah, but like how it's looking right now.
83% at the first one. Yes, full support for Ukraine.
Wow.
Second one, yes, for our own safety is 14%. And the third one is only 3%. No, we need them ourselves. But there's one person who voted, no, it's not our war. But, you know, guys, having Russian trolls in the chat is also very good. That's a good sign. That means that we're attracting some attention.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Firstly, you're right about people liking our show. That is very, very well for us. It's very good. I'm very happy actually with the result of the poll until now. We should applaud for this because this is really good because I was a little bit more skeptic, but it seems that at least people who are watching our program are fully behind Ukraine. Very good to hear. Very, very good to hear.
Only one says.
Well, you're not sure if it's a troll. Somebody really might think like this. Huh?
Yeah, I agree. And that's also something that should be there because when we see the 100% yes on everything, that probably means that Russia is behind it because
it's like an election in Russia. I just wanted to say.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, Rick, we would like to hear from you more a little bit later. We're going to listen at this moment to, in my eyes, the most beautiful song I know from the last. It's my favorite Ukrainian song.
Як уявляли ми, світ 2 кроки від весни, 2 кроки від зими. Та більше не лякають нас уламки їхніх стін. Нам залишилось пройти найвищу із вершин. І може наші очі роз'їдає тим, та ми не помічаємо, бо вогонь наш побратим. Наші очі заливає піт, та ми не закриваємо і дивимось на світ. Шум від тисяч їхніх слів часом приносить біль. Та дощ із хмари темних стріл не потрапляє в ціль. І ми продовжуємо нести свій прапор, а не хрест. Ми продовжуємо йти на власний Еверест. І може наші очі роз'їдає
very often after the show, people ask about our song. Who is this? From who is the song? Well, this is called Everest, and it's from Elke and Elke. And not only this is a nice song, they have loads of very beautiful songs. So people
We have them, hear them everywhere.
Yeah,
In a bar or in a restaurant.
So people, you can look them up, Elke and Elke, and this song is called Everest. At the table here also we have today Zbigniew Gaziela. He is he's actually Poland's #1 volunteer. We meet him every time, everywhere in Ukraine. Welcome here. We're happy you are here.
Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. And well, we know you, but most people don't know you. So we have a very small. Well, you're not videoing a lot, but we try to make a very small video from. Well, actually, from what you do. So, what do we see here, Zbigniew? Where are you now? Where is this, Zbigniew, what we are seeing?
Okay, the scenes we see are filmed in Zaporozhye. Together with my friend, we start programs. Actually, that is Gostomel area.
Yeah, I recognize it. Yeah. Well, so it's more different kind of item, a different kind of location.
It's also back to Zaporozhye region.
Yeah.
With lot of.
Hey, we can't tell where that was, but yeah, we met you over there several times, and we see the wonderful job you do because. Yeah, you're everywhere, and you're doing loads of different. It's the truth. You're doing loads of different things. You work together with churches, but you also work a lot alone. Can you tell us a little bit about how did this start, and what are you doing?
Okay, it just happened when I was a student. My friend was head on heart to help the people, and I got attracted. We worked together since the fall of the Iron Curtain. Let's say a year later in 1989, I'm so old, maybe I don't look so old, but so I got very much on heart together with my friend to help other people, just to our neighbors in Ukraine and national minorities which were under the stress of Soviet Union, and they were persecuted all over the countries of the former Soviet Union. But it started in '89. We started to bring the help to Ukraine, even it was not yet Ukraine at that time. So we fought.
Sovietsky Soyuz, Soviet Union.
It was after the putsch in, you know. So that was a problem. There were no regulations. So we had to learn ourselves how to go, and you have no rules, no regulation, but still you have custom. The custom duties, it's a separate country in the country. You know what I mean? How to, sometimes you had to smuggle things. Yet,
so what did you do? Did you give them food? Was it medicines? What kind of things did you bring to them?
Yeah, the biggest problem was with medicine, because the great corporation, they fought the law that it was forbidden to import the medicine. Even we can buy diabetic stuff and aspirin or something for the 10% of the cost you buy in drugstore. But you know, it's against their interests. So sometimes to help, for example, like you see, Zaporozhye, where we start project with diabetic children who are totally abandoned.
But you're talking about now. This is what you do now.
No, it was at that time.
Oh, also at that time.
At that time, yeah. So we couldn't help as much if we do it officially. If we, a little bit smuggling, I'm sorry, a little.
Yeah, that's how it worked in that time.
Yeah. So when you do official way, we couldn't make such help that was needed.
Prices were much higher because you have to pay here and you have to pay there to get things across the border in that time.
Yeah. I don't say about techniques, but okay, we improved the ways. And so what I saw the most important were not to work with the organizations or something, but with the personal people, concrete people, they have their organization or churches or whatever, NGOs behind them, but if you work with organization, you work with no one. You must find a reliable person with whom you can trust. You see what it's doing, she or he is doing, and then that way the amount of the help increased. We got, after falling of Eastern Germany, a lot of stuff which were just giving for humanitarian. It was not according to Western.
Okay, that was in the early days, but you're still doing kind of the same work, same, but very different.
Yeah, that gave us a practical way to help, and the real problem I saw that time was to find those really poor people. Because when you go to Ukraine, everyone says, I'm poor, you know, there are millions of people.
In that time?
Yeah, at that time. And even now, it's a general. But those who are really poor, that have no one to rely on, they are hidden. The real poverty, these disabled children, they're sitting on homes. They do not show up. Find volunteers that they go through the list, through that, and check who really has the greatest need. You cannot help everyone.
So you have
to sort out the stuff. So that is main goal, to find them and help those who really need the most.
But you tell this, the children that you help, is it the same area you still work?
Yeah. That work that started in end of 90s.
Yeah, you told, but you still help the same group?
Still, on my concern are the, let's say, single mothers and children and handicapped, disabled people, because what I saw in my vision that it's a less protected group of people. Now, because of the war, it's just growing out, increasing.
Together with the elderly. The elderly also have no support. They have difficulty as well.
Disabled elderly people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. And I could speak a lot, but we have not so much time. So maybe you can ask specific questions.
So right now, because we saw you working in Zaporozhye, we saw you working in Dnipro, we saw you working in
Bucha,
Irpin, Gostomel, we see you everywhere. You work with the children from Mariupol, you work with the pastor in Ternopil, you work everywhere. What at this moment is your, can you say something about the things you're doing right now and what is most urgent at this moment? What you're thinking is very important that you do right now?
Okay. What I came back to underline that I go anywhere to find reliable people. That I cannot do that even with my friends. Just I am sure that they can do, like the places that you just pointed out, that I'm sure they do their best to help the people, to help children, to help those who have no one to rely on. The second thing, connected to our friend, is misinformation. When I see in my eyes the most important, the very important, I think maybe most important in the AI coming, AI age coming, it's to have eyewitnesses, the people who go there as me, and then to speak and see the testimony, how to prove if someone is true or not. Maybe Coen can make the story, he's a smart man, but if you have old lady, grand babushka, who cannot even, legislate, and she's telling, she's for sure not making the stories. We had such testimony written down, and we are sure what they passed in Mariupol, in Bakhmut or somewhere, it is really true because they were eyewitnesses, and I can confrontate with the truth. And that is the basic for misinformation you can create anywhere.
It's like last time we had here a very famous photographer, and he says he makes pictures for right now for the news and to make beautiful pictures. But he says by far the biggest part of his pictures is to, after war, to prove what has been happening in Ukraine.
Yeah.
So you were here last time when he was telling, so it's really something very important. But at this moment you're also working, and that's what I wanted to talk about, with the children from Mariupol in Dnipro area. Well, actually we're in Zaporozhye. Can you tell something more about this?
Okay. 70% of Zaporozhye region is under occupation of, let's say, Russia. Okay. So there are a lot of people who are moved from that area and are around Zaporozhye. Very few percent went further on. A lot of them still have desire and wish and thinking that Ukraine will go back to that area and they can come back to their houses, even destroyed. They can rebuild, they can do something there. So I say, why? I offer you, I have a friend who carry a hotel in Krakow, right by myself, and they say, no, it's too far. When we can come back to home, it's too far. So they need to be around there. So Zaporozhye, Dnipro.
But what you're doing for them? You go there, what you do?
Yeah, so how to say, before I said, the most important is to find those who are really in desperate need. So we create a list of people, we have volunteers who visit them in homes, not on the street. Everyone can show up.
They bring food or?
Yeah, they visit them home, they bring food, medicine, and they ask for their specific needs. Someone needs baby carriage for twins, for example, and you can't get it in Ukraine. Or you can get, of course, almost everything, but the money they cannot afford. Yeah. Some special medicine for diabetic children, for other, now we make program with massages for disabled children, DCP, that's a
handicap?
Cerebral palsy. Okay, so it is special, like I show you the stick with the 4 endings. You cannot buy anywhere. So just very specific needs, but to react and to make it and find the people who can make it connect together, link together. That is the most important stuff.
You know that, well, you work also with some organizations like churches and everything, and also the this kind of organizations are not safe. I want to show you a video right now to show you that it's even not safe for NGOs. The office of the international organization Doctors Without Borders was bombed and completely destroyed in Pokrovsk, Donetsk Oblast during a Russian attack at around 3 a.m. last Friday. None of the employees were injured, but 5 locals near the office were harmed. The organization condemned the Russian attack on their office, from where they provided emergency medical humanitarian assistance to people in the Donbass. This attack on our office is far from an isolated incident, said Vincenzo Popiglia, the emergency coordinator for Doctors Without Borders. So you see, Zbigniew, also organizations like this are not safe. This was in a non-governmental organization. They help people who are injured. They help in any way as doctors. Do you think that NGOs are a specific target?
Big time, because NGOs are also opinion makers, big time. And NGOs around the world connected between each other. That's why Russians also target them. Of course, when they strike them in their media, Russians always say that they destroyed like 50 NATO generals or like a bunch of American.
It was full of soldiers or something.
Yeah,
when there were none.
Yeah. Which is not the case. Returning to your case and Coen, when you were hit in Kramatorsk, I remember that after, you know, last year in August, I've been there in that very place together with Max, my second press officer in the brigade, and we went to this memorial there were pictures of
we've seen them.
13 victims, yes, and list of people who were injured, and there were photos. There were one soldier, American soldier, who basically volunteered to fight for Ukraine. That's all. And I remember that before that, several days before we went there, I saw a video of this strike. Basically, Russians made, they took a video and made a voice-over of an American person saying like, oh my God, there's at least 50 our guys, like soldiers in those ruins. They're producing fakes. This is what
I can guarantee you they were not. We were there. They were not. So you see...
if I can add something, the idea that we got, I came back for what was 30 years ago, but Ukrainian really doesn't really a lot change, the kind of thinking. It's a lot of modern thinking, but it's a lot of, obstacle from the old time. So when we worked there, as I told you, during the time of Soviet Union, it was based idea not to make big organization was not possible at that time, but to make like a holding of the people like you and friends and other, and to make them going together like on the platform, to have platform of exchanging, sharing good information. What is needed, where it's needed, how I can help you. If you can help him and he can help you and you can help me, that's the best one. You or me decide, okay, I send there or I send there. No. The platform is exchanging also, it protects us from misinformation because there are reliable people linking it with each other.
Can give each other the information. But what I wanted to ask actually is like, if you have like a children's home or something, do you have to keep it in a secret location? Can you openly say this is there and this is there? Or do you really have to think about this because it might be a target?
Yeah, there's a great danger, so we do not publish such information exactly. And all the materials, if we do the action, we do at least a few days afterwards. So
yeah, we do the same, but only with locations which are mobile. Some things you can never show.
It can be used even against. I can recall you the incident as you were in Kramatorsk, you remember, and you were the eyewitness, what I told you. We to have a lot of eyewitnesses who are telling, you were the eyewitness. But I saw Russian channels then, afterward. And what they saw, there was a meeting of militaries being there, and they showed the pictures of the soldiers coming, because they were in area. They have emergency, stuff to help the people who are wanted. But they use
we told that last show, we've said it here. They show the video from 15 minutes after, as if it's at that moment. 15 minutes after, all the people come to help. So that's,
But you're not afraid to be a target?
My wife is more afraid than me. I was traveling along through all the Soviet Union at that time to help national minorities.
Yeah, but now?
So, I learned not to be afraid, but try not to go in the hell and the fire, to use our wisdom, what is good or not. Of course.
But it's so that, for example, if you live in, let's say, Kharkiv, everything can happen during the day. I want to show you one little video.
Yeah.
Что это, Егор? Прилеты? Как ты думаешь, это шахеды или С-300?
С-300.
С-300.
So this is incredible. This is a child, what is he, 8 years old, something like that. And firstly, he's not even shocked to hear the incoming. So he hears the difference between incoming and outgoing artillery. That's one thing, but for me it's ridiculous that a child knows this. It's very strange. But he also hears the difference between, what it is. And he says it's a S-300 rocket.
No.
It's terrible.
As you are in the outreach of artillery, not, drones, and it's hard to escape. But when you are in the outreach of the regular artillery, there is no way to escape the danger.
Yeah, okay, but this little boy, thinks it is normal.
We need to create a special programs to restore their mental, psychic. We have a lot of children. Do you have 1 minute? No. Okay. Half of the minute. We had refugee from Slaviansk living in our home. We gave our home to her for 10 years, for 10 months, with the 4-year girl. And the girl heard the siren from our fire department call to accident. And she immediately moved, under the table, and she didn't want to even plastic table. So these changes in mental and psychic will last for a long, long time, and we need special project also with that area.
Rick, are you here? Well, I see you, but I don't hear you. Rick, as you are in Kiev, sound is coming.
Now it's coming. Sorry.
Yes.
I muted myself because I was afraid that my keyboard is pounding too loud.
No problem. Rick, you're in Kiev. What do you think? Yep. Many children in Kiev know the difference between incoming and outgoing, and they know the difference in this is a rocket, or this is a shahid, or this is this, and this is... It's terrible that they know, but is it like that?
I think every child knows, but not that good as in Kharkiv, because in Kharkiv it's really terrible right now. And actually, we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Any updates about the statement or any questions coming in?
Oh, yeah, many questions, but do we have the time to answer some of them?
Let's try.
Let's try. Okay. One from, it wasn't me, a good one. Could you please ask Starsky what the Propaganda Study Institute is currently working on? Thank you very much.
Yeah, I will answer really shortly. So our previous video, which was our first video, was dedicated to the FSB organization called Russian Church. And currently we're working on another video dedicated to another organization, which is clearly a representation of Russian FSB in 120 countries. And I'm sure you're gonna like this one.
Okay, thank you very much. So another one, it's from Theo Kazers. Franky and Coen, thanks for all the work you do for Ukrainian friends. To all Ukrainians, thank you for all tough fight for our freedom. It's not a question, but I thought I need to read this one. And I personally want to thank you guys, Franky Coen, for coming here time after time and helping our people and doing new projects. Maybe you want to mention the one that you're about to launch later?
Yeah, a little
okay.
later. Yeah.
By the way, I wanted to just quickly also to give a shout to Dr. Tuso for the huge super sticker, 50 euro super sticker there. And there was a super chat in the beginning. Oh, also super sticker by Art Bartman. And Art Bartman was really supportive there in the chat. So thank you guys for being so active in the chat and doing all the stuff that you do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All. Any more questions?
No more questions, but let's talk about the poll. We have 217 votes right now, 85% for the first one, yes, full support for Ukraine, 12% for yes, for our own safety, and no, we need them ourselves, only 3%, and 0% now on no, it's not our war, 0% because one person is less than 200 people for 1%. You know what I mean, guys.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. We have some topics we wanted to talk about with you. Shall we just start with the first video?
Watch the first video about Kharkiv. Actually.
Let's do that.
Смотри на меня. Вов, меня слышишь? Вова. Тихо.
So this man's father was just killed by a second incoming. They were saving people with his father, who's also a firefighter, a rescuer, and his father got killed in front of him They were both rescuers, and his name is Volodymyr, and his father's name was also Volodymyr Vova.
Yeah.
And they were actually friend of Pete from Project Constantine, who is a friend of mine and who we all support with our communities.
Actually, it was like this, that there came in a first attack, and they started to help to save people who have been hurt, and some people maybe already got killed. And then when they were doing their work, there came a second attack.
Yes,
which is
and they
so dirty.
They killed 3 rescuers that day, and Russia keeps doing those double tap attacks.
Yeah.
They keep killing also rescuers, policemen. That's one of their terrorist tactics to prevent people from rescuing people.
Franky warned me also by the attack in Kramatorsk. He said,
don't go back.
Don't go back. There can be a second one.
There can be a second one.
Yeah.
I'm so happy, guys, that there was no second attack that day and that you are with us here.
It's anyway very, very bad. It's terrible that they do this. It's unbelievable that they do this. The rescuers...
Just quickly add that in Kharkiv right now, Russians started to use glide bombs, and Kharkiv not only being bombed by Shahid drones and S-300 missiles, but now also with glide bombs, and the destruction is massive, and a lot of bad stuff is happening every day there.
Yeah, you wanted to show us also a second video.
Which is a bit more encouraging than the first one. Let's watch it.
Это что, самолет? Как?
Yeah, guys, you see the subtitles there.
Это дрон.
And this happened last week. First attack by Ukraine that far, 1,200 kilometers approximately from Ukraine. It's Tatarstan. The attack was actually on the plant where they produce Shahid drones. The Iranian drones, Russia produces them in Tatarstan for a year now, about a year. And that was attacked. You see the workers of that plant were evacuated beforehand. We don't actually know much about the destruction. I haven't seen the satellite pictures from that place. So it was damaged for sure. There was another target in Tatarstan that night. That's another oil refinery. And Russia, we need to actually cripple the Russian oil refinery system, because Russia is fueling their tanks, BMPs, APCs, and all the other equipment, such as artillery, their flamethrower systems, the huge ones, thermobaric. So this is actually a legitimate target for Ukraine. That's my opinion.
And what makes it most unusual and new is the distance. It is over 1,200 kilometers from Ukrainian border, I understood. And this is the first time that...
It's incredible how far that...
Yeah, so that's completely new. Rick, thank you very much. We will get one more time back to you in the end about statement. But right now we're going to our special guest.
Hello.
Добрый день. Добрый день. Голландец. Добрый день, Денис. Как у вас дела сегодня?
Хорошо, все, спасибо. Добрый вечер, студия. Добрый вечер вам. Добрий вечір, Нідерланди. Доброго вечора, українці, які знаходяться зараз в Голландії.
Я буду переводить.
Недобрый вечер всем, кто поддерживает эту войну.
Yeah. Well, first I told hello to Dennis. His nickname is the Hollander, the Dutch guy. It's actually because he drove in a car with a yellow number plate for a long time. So I said him hello. He said hello to everybody, but not to people who support the Russian war. Ну, ви сейчас в Дніпро. Я думаю, мы скоро будем в Днепро тоже, потому что сегодня вечер я с Бичек уезжаем тоже в Днепро. I'm just telling Dennis that tonight we also will go to Dnipro, where he is at this moment, for our new project, and Бичек is going for his project. But this is the base where lives Dennis. Dennis, тут никто вам еще не знает. Мы будем очень маленький видео показать, что люди знают, кто Dennis. People here might not know Dennis. He's very famous on the internet, on YouTube, but he is doing extremely good work. He is evacuating people from the most hot locations in Ukraine, risking his life really every day. Let's have a look at a very little video.
Я понял. Вы, главное, берегите себя, пожалуйста. Хозяева! Все, залазьте, быстрее. Держите ее. Це гроби, які... Сьогодні вночі розстріляли бабусю. Это вас сьогодні ночью прилетіло, да, во двор?
Да. Сейчас документы.
Волонтери, які дуже хочуть допомогти в моїй справі та...
Вот там мы сидели через стенку, все разваленное. Я не знаю, вчера ползла до подвала.
Дуже складна тут. Настояще. Дякую вам, хлопці.
Тоже голодні.
Дякую вам, хлопці, за допомогу. Дякую.
Будь ласка. Денис, просто почти не могу понимать, как ты это делаешь. Каждый день опять рисковаешь так много, помогает людям там на очень грязном месте. Мы были с вами один день. Это было вообще, мы очень нервно были, мы очень боюсь, как вы можете это каждый день делать. I'm asking now Dennis how he can do this work every day, go to most hot territories to save people. We went with him one day, we risked it one day, and it was so scaring, and he does it every day. Dennis, скажите, как вы можете это каждый день делать? Как вы не... Ну, как это?
Сложно, страшно.
Difficult.
Но ничего, мы держимся.
And scaring, but he's doing it anyway. Последнее время вы еще были на эвакуации людей? The last days, weeks, did you do more evacuations?
Да, эта неделя была очень плодотворная по эвакуациям. Неделя была сложная. С того самого Нетайлова, где мы с вами вот недавно буквально побывали, мне сегодня удалось вывести 13 человек.
Wow. He went to Netailova, there where we were. It was 2.6 kilometers at that moment from zero, but now I've seen it, it's less than 2 kilometers. But he was able to evacuate 13 people from this area. This is very, very good. Это очень-очень хорошо, потому что это люди там, они не будут жить, если они там долго будут ждать. Правильно? Ik wou hem vragen of dat die. I wanted to ask if people on that location had a chance to survive if they would have stayed. I know the answer. It's not possible to survive this location if the Russians get any further because they are just 2 kilometers from Netailova. Я видел, что раньше, когда мы там были, это был 2.6 километра из ноль. Сейчас я видел это еще ближе. Я видел на Deep State, что это сейчас меньше 2 километра. Правильно?
Да. Сегодня поступила информация, что российские боевики уже продвигаются в сторону Уманского. Уманское – это соседнее село с Нетайлова. Есть такая вероятность, что они попытаются через Нетайлова пойти, на Нетайлова пойти прямо вот со стороны Уманского. Это очень плохо. Они тем самым перережут трассу и главную дорогу, артерию, которая снабжает нашу армию в этом направлении. И будет сразу же под угрозой и Первомайская.
So Dennis basically said that there was information that the Russians were
Umanska.
Yeah, the Russians were coming to Netalovo from the direction of Umansk, and if they manage to do that, they will cut the highway, which is basically our main artery of supplies for the Ukrainian defenders, and then basically we will have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Can you ask Dennis, he gets more people out of the area. Is it possible that the rest also want to go?
Кунт спросит, вы взяли там 13 человек, там еще есть, наверное, человек 70 примерно. Вы считаете, что от их тоже еще могли взять люди, или это не получится?
Смотрите, ситуация такая. Люди отказываются выезжать до того момента, пока к ним в дом не прилетит и пока они не попадут под сильный обстрел. Вчера вечером это произошло. Мы с вами заезжали, помните, были два двухэтажных здания. Это мы в конце в самом с вами заезжали. Вы могли их наблюдать, могли их видеть.
Ага.
Вот. Люди там сидели с 2014 года. Люди мне до последнего говорили, что они никуда не собираются выезжать. Вчера вечером, после серии авиаударов со стороны России, а если быть точнее, со стороны ДНР, люди уже готовы были выехать. У людей уже сдали нервы, и сегодня я делал туда 2 поездки, потому что одной машиной я не мог вывести сразу все 13 человек. Мы ездили 2 раза туда. Вот.
If I understood well, he said that there was a 2-floor house, people were living there, and they all the time said, no, we're not leaving, we're not leaving, we're not leaving. But
since 2014.
Since 2014 they were there, and right now they got attacked, and that's why they now decided 13 of them to leave.
Yeah,
is that the correct translation?
Yes, Dennis since the beginning said that people, and this is fact, this is actually something that happens, that people refuse to leave like before something hits their house, either a shell or either they get shot, they get into some really bad shootout, and this is exactly what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Wat was de vraag?
Well, Dennis, we understand this. Извини, мы понимаем все, но мы сейчас будем начинать наш шелтер недалеко из этого фронта. Мы будем это делать, более-менее с тобой. Ты будешь искать людей, которые надо помочь из очень-очень горячего места. Еще много людей есть на такой ситуации, что у них очень-очень плохой ситуации, они должны уезжать, и у них должен быть эвакуации, такой еще много там.
Там на данный момент находится более 70 человек, это много. Вообще по линии боевых действий люди будут всегда на эвакуацию. Это проблема, чем больше будет оккупант российский давить на это направление, тем, соответственно, больше мы будем терять сел, тем больше мы будем терять территории, соответственно, людей нужно будет вывозить. Это правда. Но, опять же, вот сегодня я вывез людей, 13 человек, им есть куда ехать. Слава Богу, хорошо, что им нашли друзья, родственники, соседи, приютили их, забрали к себе. Пока сегодня с тем, что нужно людям найти где-то там жилье. Но бывает очень часто такое, что действительно нужно дальше их расселять.
Yeah. Dennis says that today he was lucky. The 13 people who he took, there was good locations for him to bring them to. They had family, relatives, friends. But very often they do not have a location to go to. And that's actually why we come in.
Yeah.
That's why we are starting our own shelter. Tonight, tonight I'm going in direction of Ukraine to Dnipro. And there we will meet Dennis again, and we already have our location. It's a former hotel, which we are using and changing, and that will be the shelter to get those people to. This is actually the picture of the shelter. Yeah, we are doing some reconstructions now, and it's well, almost ready actually, the first 9 rooms. Это наше shelter, Денис, я не знаю, или ты тоже их видишь. Этот гостиница, которую мы сейчас делаем ремонт, скоро готова. Денис, ты еще тут?
Да. Я смотрю сейчас это видео и задаю вопрос. Мне можно там жить, если что?
Dennis asks, if something happens, can he live there? Конечно, точно. Или ты приедешь тут в Голландию, у нас всегда есть место для тебя. Если не тут, тогда тут. Yeah, this is going to be the shelter. We still have a lot to do.
Paint.
Yeah, but
new beds.
New beds, everything. But everything is rolling. So now we're going there for the official part. And we hope to open this shelter actually in a few weeks time. Я только сказал людям, что через пару недель мы хотим это открыть. Вот этот неделю я буду там и организации делать, что еще нужно. Денис, конечно, на следующей неделе мы будем строиться, да? Я уже знаю, где мы будем покушать.
Я извиняюсь, еще раз повторите, пожалуйста.
Я сказал, в следующей неделе мы будем там строиться друг друга, а мы уже знаем, где мы будем кушать, потому что там выглядит очень хорошо еда, там, где мы. I said we already know where we're going to eat, because in Dnipro there was a fantastic place, real good food, still open, so there we will go. Денис, большое спасибо. Дякую и до скоро. До скоро.
До встречи.
See you soon.
Спасибо большое. Рад был. Спасибо.
Дякую. Well, Rick, that was Dennis. And we're going to meet him next week. Well, I'm going to meet him again next week. We saw him before. We went with him to one of the evacuations, and he's a great guy. He's one of the best. He's unbelievable what he does. Rick, any more news on your side?
Well, guys, there is just a second. There were words for Dennis from Lisa van Lingen. Dear Dennis, thank you much for all you do, and the most dangerous places near the zero line. Maybe there's something interrupted in that message, sorry. But actually, Lisa was thanking Dennis for his work, and I just wanted him to hear that, but he got away so fast.
Yeah, I will tell him next week, I promise.
Awesome.
When I'm there, I will not forget. Anything changes in the statement, or is it more or less the same?
84%. Instead of 85 before. Yes, full support for Ukraine. So 84% of 237 people think that, guys, did you understand that you voted for more than 50%? Are you sure that your country will give more than 50%? That's a lot, but we would love to get that. But is it realistic? That's my only question.
Yeah, that's the thing, because some people will see it like this: if we give away our own weapons, we do not have a defense ourselves. Well, my personal opinion is that we can make the defense in Ukraine. We should not wait until they come here in the Western world. So,
Poland already, we had attack.
Yeah. So actually, my vote is also on the first option. What's your vote?
My vote would be on the first option as well, because there is a choice. Either the civilized world fights Russia in Ukraine, or the civilized world fights Russia in Netherlands, in Germany, in France, in Italy. So there's a choice.
Zbigniew?
Number one, so no question.
There's no question about...
So we are, I think we are again on the 85%.
Yeah, I vote for the first one too.
So
It's 85.
86%. Rick, thank you very much again
Guys,
for
just
being.
quickly to mention some of the super stickers and chats. Maybe not to list all of them, but there's been a lot. If we don't have time for that, tell me. If we have, I will quickly go through them.
Yeah, okay, quickly go through them, of course.
I'll quickly do it. Thank you very much. So just give me a second. Lisa was gifting €22 super sticker. Thank you with that message. Then Dachi, €22.99 super sticker. Then Dr. Tuso, €10 super chat test support for Rick. Thank you very much. That was to let me know if super chats are also working and not only super stickers. So that one says test. Then €22 super chat from the Hague Fortnite. Sorry. Keep frying deep fried kings. You do excellent work with the shelter as well. Hi to Starsky. Stay awesome. Stay safe. Yes, guys, that's not all. Silver Earth dropped $50 super chat for a safer space. Thank you. And that's it. Thank you, guys.
Yep, thank you also, Rick. Thank you very much for helping us out again, for your information, for your videos, and for all you did for us. I want to thank, of course, Aljona, Dennis, everybody who was online. Of course, Operator Starsky, thank you very, very much. We have Zbigniew, thank you very much.
What you're doing in Ukraine for the people.
Yeah, thank you to be here with you.
Almost forgot something.
Oh.
I have a present for you.
Oh.
It's actually our badge.
That's a dilemma, yeah.
It's the badge I want to give you. Can you give it to Zbigniew? Here you go.
Oh,
and I want to thank you, Koen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And all the viewers, thank you very much. And we see each other again in 2 weeks. I have to hurry up because even tonight we step in the car and we're going to Ukraine. I drive together with Zbigniew. Thank you all very much. Have a good evening and see you next time. Bye.